Hello, everybody. Welcome to Candidates Corner, this Greater Seattle Korean Association's interviews with candidates and current electeds. And as you may know, we were recently awarded the King County Voter Education Fund grant. And so this is why we're doing these interviews on live recording, so that basically the whole goal is that we can be more informed decision makers when it comes to our votes. I was just sharing that a lot of times people ask me, who should I vote for? And that really shouldn't be a question. Let's all kind of do our part to not only read the voter pamphlet, but now as we provide these videos to you on YouTube, check out the candidates and who they are personally. And so with that said, we're very excited and pleased to have with us Councilmember Susan Honda from Federal Way. Welcome, Susan.
Hi.
Yeah. Susan, Councilmember Honda is here, and she's been serving 3 terms already. So we're very thankful to her for her service to our community, City of Federal Way. And she is also running to be mayor of Federal Way, and she just is here to just share a little bit about her vision. But before we let Susan share, just a reminder again, it's not an endorsement, but rather it's, again, to get to know our candidates on a personal level, so you can be more of an informed voter when you go to vote. Okay, great. So, Councilmember Honda, perhaps before we go into some of these more detailed questions, do you mind just briefly sharing about your personal background and professional background, maybe?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay.
So I was born in Tacoma, Washington, and went to the Castle Stadium High School. And I became a registered nurse. I went to Tacoma General School of Nursing, which we took our college courses from the University of Puget Sound and our nursing courses at Tacoma General Hospital. Became an RN, got married to my husband in 1979. We have 3 children and 7 beautiful, amazing grandchildren. Excuse me. And I had to quit nursing in 1995 because I got injured and I was no longer able to lift children. I was a school nurse. And so I changed the whole course of my life and became a full-time volunteer, and was a volunteer for not only for the schools. I was very involved in PTA and school stuff, but I became involved in the city on city commissions. I was on the Diversity Commission and the Arts Commission, and found that if I wanted to change anything in the city, I had to become an elected. And I never would have thought I would do anything like this.
Yeah.
When I started nursing school, I had to read a book on shyness because they felt I was too shy.
I see.
And you can't be shy if you're elected. So,
Well, that book helped because I can't really see that now. Thank you, Councilmember Honda. So we just have a few questions that we ask from our viewers and audience, and if you don't mind, I'll just read them out to you.
Okay.
Yeah. So I want to talk about community representation a little bit. So you've been council member for three terms. So Federal Way continues to grow in diversity. How do you plan to ensure that underrepresented communities, perhaps specifically AANHPI and communities of color, have a stronger voice in city decisions and civic engagements? And I think the reason why this question was asked is particularly for me, I hear a lot that when I ask my friends, like, why didn't you vote? And the response that I'll get is, well, I don't think my vote matters. Yeah. And so, which we know is not the case.
right.
Because elections, some of them are razor thin margins, but also it's our freedoms and it's our right as Americans to do so. And so perhaps could you speak to that first question a little
Sure.
bit? Yeah.
So Federal Way is one of the most diverse cities in Washington and even the nation.
Yeah.
And we do have a large Korean population in Federal Way. So
Former Mayor Mike Park.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, I took his seat.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll have to ask him about that.
Hey, he's my friend.
Gotcha. Okay.
So one of the things I will do to get more people involved is we have to be able to have people understand what we're doing. And
right.
part of that is having translators available and having the language line accessible to everyone. We have a language line now, we need to expand it. And we need to have community meetings where people feel invested, where there's something that's interesting to them. Some of the stuff we do on city council, it's kind of blah, right? It's just things you have to do.
Yeah.
But we need to make it interesting so that people will come and tell us what they're thinking.
So make it relevant for them. Yeah. Okay.
Because every time I vote, I know that vote is making a difference in someone's life. It isn't just a yes or a no. It's actually going to impact somebody. And we need to hear from those folks. So we need to be able to invite them into City Hall, make them comfortable, help them speak, because if they don't feel like they can speak to us, they can always speak to us. I also want to do more community roundtables with especially immigrant populations and let people know the services we have in Federal Way. We also have several city commissions. We have arts, diversity, parks. Get more people of color, more young people, more immigrants involved in those because they advise the city council and the mayor. And we need their voices.
Sure.
It's it's a commitment, usually 2 or 3 nights a month.
Okay.
But it's a way to get involved in the city.
Amazing. I really appreciate what you said about having the interpretation services available. Like, for example, we're talking about King County and the fact that they made the voter registration forms in different languages, I think is helping tremendously. With technology, like I heard Apple is releasing real-time translation. So this is going to be an issue that I believe is going to be solved really, language is going to be kind of secondary as a barrier going forward. So we look forward to seeing what's possible in the future. So I want to move to public safety and trust a little bit. What specific steps will you take to improve public safety while also building trust between law enforcement and the community, particularly among youth and immigrant families?
So the public needs to feel that they can trust our police department and our courts because public safety is not just police, it's courts too.
Okay.
And so I would like to strengthen community policing by having more police on the streets and in the schools, in the mall. We need to have police that, especially youth, are not afraid to go up to and talk to. So if they see them more in the schools, at football games or at soccer games or wherever kids gather, they might feel more comfortable talking to them.
So they can go and become engaged in their activity. Okay.
Right. Yeah. I also want to make sure that our police have cultural competency courses and de-escalation courses ongoing.
Okay.
We have a very diverse community in Federal Way, and we need to learn how to meet people where they're at.
So when you say that, you mean like teach them how to be more culturally sensitive, right? Okay, that's good. Yeah.
I also want to see more mentorship programs. At the city council level, we did a mentorship program, but only one time. And my mentee, now I consider her my daughter. We grew really close. But our mentors, each council person took a young person in high school. They applied, and we interviewed them. And my mentee, her name is Katie, and she's now 23. She was 16 when she was my mentee. She has now completed her first year of law school.
Oh, wow.
But she learned all the things that City Hall does, from permitting to police to community services to just everything we do, parks. And so I would like to see more of that so that especially the youth and those who are new to this country and new to this area can see what Federal Way has to offer and how we're there for them.
That's great. That's great. I mean, to just speak to that very quickly, that's to increase the police force, not just increasing, but get them involved, meet people where they're at. But it requires budget and finances to do that. And so are you saying then with the monies that are raised for the city that that'll be prioritized in a way?
Public safety is always prioritized. It has to be.
Okay.
From our police to our courts to,
Okay, great. Finally, economic development equity. Let's just speak to that a little bit. As Federal Way evolves, I mean, it's growing tremendously. How will you support small businesses and economic development on an ongoing basis? That's inclusive also of minority-owned businesses. Yeah.
So one thing Federal Way is known for is the Korean restaurants. I have friends in Seattle who come to Federal Way for the Korean restaurants.
Like me. There's a Korean blood sausage is my favorite. There's a new place that opened. It's amazing. Yeah.
So we're known for that in Federal Way. Mm-hmm. But our economy depends on thriving small businesses. Most of the businesses in Federal Way are small businesses. Mm-hmm. And a lot of those businesses are owned by Korean folks or immigrant folks, and we need to be supporting them. I'm very involved in our Chamber of Commerce, and the Chamber of Commerce is available to help any business in the city. You don't have to necessarily be a member, but they will help you. Yeah. I'd like to see the business licensing, that we have translators available for that. And so you want to come into Federal Way and open a business or maybe another Korean restaurant or shop, we need to make permitting better. Right now, our permitting desk is open 9 to 4, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Okay. It's completely closed on Wednesday to the public. Okay. And I would like to see it open at least 9 to 5. 5:30 would be better. Mm-hmm. Because if people are working a job and they have a dream to open a business and they need to go and talk to our permit folks, they can't do it. Mm-hmm. It's going to be hard for them. So I would like to make that more accessible to folks. I'd also like it would be really cool to have cultural impact areas around Federal Way. We tried to do that years and years ago. I still think it's possible. And make it like the Korean restaurants and the Korean shops. We just opened a grocery store for
TNT? Was TNT or one of those?
Island Pacific.
Oh, Island Pacific. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Just opened, and we have people grocery shopping from Olympia. Wow. It is so cool.
So the H Mart is already there.
H Mart's there.
But Island Pacific opened up too, down the street. Okay.
Yeah, just down the street.
And they're both super busy.
The parking lots are absolutely packed. Okay. We have people coming into Federal Way to grocery shop.
Amazing. Okay. Yeah. Well, I go there to eat, so.
And you mentioned the Hanruri Garden earlier.
Right, Hanruri Garden.
Our sister city in Korea helped us build that. In fact, they provided most of the funding for it. It's a beautiful, beautiful garden located right next to the King County Weyerhaeuser Aquatic Center. It's open dawn to dusk. It's absolutely amazing and beautiful. It's a touch of Korea in Federal Way.
Amazing. So I'll throw out a surprise question here, and it's it's easy. You can speak from the heart, but so you're running to be mayor. So why do you feel we have our work cut out for us, I'm sure, in Federal Way Council, but why do you feel this run for mayor would be not only beneficial for you, but also for the community? Why step into the mayor role right now? Yeah.
It's time for a change. Federal Way is growing, and I feel like I'm the person who can lead us into the next generation. I am committed to being the mayor. I've said this before, I'm not using this as a stepping stone to another position. I would like to see Federal Way grow. It's my home. It's where my babies came home to. In fact, interesting, my grandfather in the early 1900s opened a logging company in Des Moines, Washington.
Oh, really?
Which is just down the street from Federal Way. And he had property in Federal Way. So I go along.
So Mayor Buxton will probably know them over there, yeah.
I mean, my family has a long history in Federal Way, and I just feel like I'm the person who can lead us forward.
I see. Great. Okay. One last whammy. You spoke about your mentee, and so it sounds as though mentorship is very important to you, to see the growth of a young person. And we can always do more to, our various organizations. We always talk about, we wish we could get more young people to help in the next generation. So, but perhaps their priorities, I don't know, their priorities may not be involved in civic engagement, but kind of what would be your encouragement to our young people, younger than you and I, Gen Z, let's go.
Younger than you.
Well, I don't know about that. Let's call it Gen Z, okay? What's your encouragement to them? Why is it important to be involved in civic engagement? Yeah.
It's important for a young person to be involved. And I'm talking about someone in their 20s and 30s because I'm much older than that. to be involved in your community, because not only can you shape the future of the schools for your children, or if you're a student, you can get involved and shape the future of your school while you're there, but your future, because especially Federal Way, we are building our downtown right now. I'm not building it for me, because it's going to take 20 to 30, 40 years to build out Federal Way.
I see.
Hopefully I'll be here, but we're building it for the next generation. You know, we're building it for my grandchildren and my children, and we need their opinions and their thoughts, because once it's built, right? You don't tear it down because you don't like it. If you see something you don't like, one of the best ways to change it is to get involved and let people know, and then have an action. What would you do to change it? How would you change it? How would you make it better?
Yeah, because of the needs of the different generations vary from generation to generation. Great. Well, thank you very much, Councilmember Honda. Oh yeah, of course, Susan. Yeah, of course. Thank you for coming and for sharing just some of your thoughts and vision. And everyone, again, thank you for listening. And this is Federal Way Councilmember Susan Honda. She's running to be Federal Way Mayor. So ballots are out, everybody. We're coming up on a very important date, November 4th. So as Councilmember Honda mentioned, it's very important to vote. Your voice does matter, because if you don't do it, then somebody else will. And they're going to be looking out for your interests, which may not align with what it's important to you. That's why it's important to vote. So please go out there, study about our candidates, learn about them. This is why we're doing this. So lastly, Mayor Honda, do you have like a website that you want to? I said Mayor Honda prematurely. Councilmember Honda.
I just answered
website or
website is Honda for Federal Way.
Honda for Federal Way, and then the 4
FW. Honda for FW.
Gotcha.
I always mess it up.
Okay, gotcha.
And I would just encourage people to vote. Your vote is so very important. We're so lucky that we get to vote in this country. So please vote. It's your right.
Amazing. Thank you very much. Thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.